Okay, what does x equal when y is 1.53? Move the 2 over then. I'll just put it in here. So y plus 2 will equal to 5x. And then we'll move the 5 from times to divide. Read from right to left. Y plus 2 then. Move this to divide on the other side. Over 5. 1.53 plus 2. 1.53 plus 2. Now that's what's on top. So I'm going to put an equals. And then divide that by 5. So you can do it this way. So ants divided by 5 instead of putting a bracket around it. 0.706. So it's 0.71 to 2d. Here we need to rearrange for x again. So leave the 2x as is. Move the 7 over. Move the 3y over. Flip the sign, of course. So x will equal 7 minus 3y over 2. So I'm going to use a bracket this time. 7 minus 3 times y, 1.53, close bracket, divided by 2. 1.205. 1.21 then, isn't it? Next one, rearrange for x, move the 3 over. Y minus 3 is equal to 2 over x. Let's invert both sides. So x over 2 then, upside down. When you invert that fraction, it goes like that. This goes to 1 over the y minus 3. And now move the 2 up from times to divide. 2 ones are 2 over y minus 3. So we've got 2 divided by bracket 1.73 minus 3. Close the bracket. Minus 1.57, which I'm not sure about at the moment. So I'm going to double check this work. Okay, we got this. So we get 2x equals 7 minus 3y. Oh. No, that's the previous problem, isn't it? We got this one now. This, y minus 3 is 2 over x. X over 2 then is 1 over y minus 3. 2 over y minus 3. Y is 1.53. So what did I write? I wrote 1.73. 1.53. Minus 1.36 then. There we go. Next one. Square root both sides. So y to the half then on this side is equal to undo a square, you square root the x minus 2. And then we move the 2 across to make it a plus 2. X equals y to the half plus 2. So it's 1.53 to the half. So square root then 1.53 outside the square root plus 2 plus 2. 3.24. Good. This one now, move the 2 over. Y plus 2 is equal to the square root of x plus 1. Square both sides. X plus 1 then is equal to y plus 2, this side squared. And move the 1 over. Y plus 2 squared then, that object, and move the 1 over to take away 1. So it's 1.53 plus 2 bracket, all that squared, wasn't it? So that squared minus 1. 11.46. Okay, next one. Move this up and the y down. So once we've moved the x plus 1 up, times the y equals 5. We can also move the y down, 5 over y, and then we can move the 1 across, 5 over y minus 1. 5 over 1.53 then, minus 1 will equal 2.27. Okay, good. So let's do these last few then, which are slightly less trivial, slightly more awkward in other words. This is an object we're going to move around, so let's move the x minus 1 up. X minus 1 up to be with the y. It's x plus 2. Expand the bracket here, yx minus y then is equal to x plus 2. Move the x over, yx minus x is equal to the 2, leave that as is, and move the y to plus y. Take the x outside a bracket then. We've got xy minus 1 is equal to 2 plus y, and that tells us what x is. 2 plus y, or we can write that as y plus 2, same thing. Over, and move this to divide y minus 1 underneath. So that's what we get. So using all the algebra to rearrange it for x equals, so 1.53 plus 2 on the top, plus 2 bracket divided by bracket 1.53 minus 1 close bracket, decimal 6.66. Good. And now the next one, rearrange for x. Oh, this is a pain, isn't it? We've got to use a method of quadratics called completing the square here. So I'm just going to give myself some room. In order to do this, we're going to use a trick that perhaps you might not have seen in a while. And that simple trick is just what's half of this and write this as x plus 1 squared. Alright? Just half that and write x plus 1 squared. You see, the reason you can do that, the reason we've chosen that amount is because, let's have a look at this bracket. 2 for the first, 2 for the second. What do we end up with? We'll end up with x squared. Plus x is the middle terms, and then plus 1 at the end. So you can actually write this quadratic by halving that, finding this value, and write that squared. We end up with this. But we want this, don't we? So we need a plus 1, don't we, to keep it the same value, because you can't change what it is. So you can write the preceding line in this form. It's called the method of completing the square. Now, what's nice is we can move the 1 over. I hope you can start to see what's happening here now. X plus 1 squared. Then we can square root both sides. Is equal to x plus 1. Okay, the only problem is when you square root both sides, you actually get 2 solutions. So I'm going to do it more formally now. You actually get 2 solutions. So we can put a plus minus, and then we can move the 1 over. So write it down from right to left. Minus 1 then. That becomes plus minus is the next number square root of y minus 1. So that's what we've got then. So it's minus 1 plus the square root of 1.53 minus 1. Oh, I'll get rid of that thing there. Okay, what do we get? We get minus 0.27. And the other answer, if we go back to our calculator, it was a plus minus. What that means is you've got a plus or a minus when you square root. So there's 2 possible solutions from before. Minus 1.73. When we square root this here, we put the possibility of 2 values. Because if you square both sides here, this will be plus that, and this will be this squared. So that's why these plus and minus pops up as 2 possible values. So when you're doing formal algebra and you square it, really you should put plus minus to denote 2 possible solutions, really. That's the way to do it. We'll come on to these again another time, I suppose.